I don't care what anybody says, that has got to be the most humbling thing ever that has ever happened to Davis Mills. CJ Stroud just walked in there and said, all right, man, I'm the captain now. This is my team. It didn't take a couple of months. It didn't take a year. It took CJ Stroud 12 freaking days to make Davis Mills look like an idiot. Well. What do you know? Ladies and gentlemen, we got an update on good old CJ Stroud. You want to know what I find so funny about this? A couple of weeks ago, Davis Mills stated that he will be competing for the starting job. And what did I tell you guys? I found it laughable and comical. I told you 2 weeks ago that Davis Mills has lost his mind. He's not competing for jack squiddly crap. Why do I say that? Because you don't buy a Lamborghini to put it in the garage and never drive it, or at least you shouldn't. I know there's some people who do that. They buy these $200,000 and $300,000 cars and they're scared to drive them, but you shouldn't be that way. That analogy applies to the NFL. You take a guy in the top 5, especially a quarterback who you think is a quote-unquote franchise quarterback, you got to drive him right now. There's none of this developing, none of this. You take a guy with the second overall pick, no, play him. The fastest way to learn, not just in the NFL, but in life, is to learn along the way. Is CJ Stroud going to hit some bumps in the road? Yes, but that's a part of the process. I wanted to start this video by reminding you on what Davis Mills said because it's very relevant for today's video. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about because we have a new and what I'm going to label as a huge and major update on CJ Stroud. His head coach has even stated that he's been quote-unquote eye-opening. We're going to talk all about it. This is the one and only topic we're going to go over. If you're new to the channel, consider joining, hitting that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. We're on the road to 300K, and we can't get there without your help. All right, Matt, blah, shut up, now without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, hope you guys are having a great Friday. If it's not going good, well, I hope this video can make it a little bit better. Let's kick back, relax, talk about some football. I say we just get straight into things. CJ Stroud, top quarterback, selected second overall, one of the best quarterbacks coming out of college. Arguably, you could have taken him number 1, blah, 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 you know the story. Not here to bore you with all of that. It's CJ Stroud, he doesn't need an introduction. The funny thing about this is yesterday, what do we talk about? How Will Levis, he's been awful, at least according to the reports, in the Tennessee's OTAs. It's been that bad, but hey, we expected that. We talked all about that yesterday. Feel free to check on that video. Well, in today's video, it's the complete opposite. Reportedly, according to all the sources, I don't want to say that CJ Stroud has been dominating, but he's been looking way better than expected this early on. Whoa, hold on. I know what all you sitting there saying. Matt, what do you mean way better than expected? We knew this guy, he had the potential to be great. Yes, I agree, I'm in the same boat. What I'm talking about is, and you'll see what I'm talking about, even the coaches stated this, he's looking way better than expected this early on. They expect him to be great. They hope he can be great, but he's already surpassing their early expectations, if that makes sense. This isn't coming from a source. This is coming from the quarterback's coach, Jared Johnson. He has stated that CJ Stroud is already way ahead of pace. I'm going to show you a short video clip in just a second, but here's what the head coach, Ryans, he had to say. CJ is progressing well. Each day he continues to get better, continues to get more comfortable with the verbiage. Is that how you say that word? I've never seen that word in my life. The verbiage of the offense and command of the huddle. I thought this week he's been really good, coming off of a long weekend. It was very eye-opening how honored he was. He did an awesome job in our situational period, so he is definitely progressing in the right direction, and the sky is the limit for him. The part of that quote that all these media sources and outlets are running with is where he said he's looking eye-opening. That's not really a phrase you hear thrown around lightly, even when coaches are doing their coach talk. And I know what everybody's going to say. They do it all the time. Well, Matt, this is his coach. What do you expect? Him to say bad stuff about him? And no, I don't, but I'll give you this. You don't see any of the coaches raving on Will Levis at Tennessee. You see my point. My point is, I don't think he's just saying this to say it. I think he means it. Here's another quote I'm going to show you. Then I'll show you the video clip. His deliberateness and intent to try to get better, he's literally grabbing everybody he can on the field. So he's been very sort of intentional about learning and just learning defense too. Like, what did you call it there? What was the coverage? Or what did you do here? I respect that from him. So from that quote, I'm taking away that CJ Stroud, yeah, he knows he's talented, but he also understands he's got a lot to learn and he's willing to learn. To me, at least, that is the difference in your really great quarterbacks and just your good quarterbacks. All these first round picks and top quarterback picks, they have egos, but when you can put your ego and pride aside and try to learn and be like, you know what, I don't know everything, so I need to ask questions, That's going to take you to another level. Putting your ego and pride aside in anything is one of the best things you can do, so I'm happy to hear that CJ Stroud, he's as humble as ever. I already knew he was a humble guy, but this even validates it even more. He's not walking in there like a big shot going, oh yeah, I know how to play quarterback, I'm good, I've been doing this forever. He's walking in there with the mentality of, okay, I got a lot to learn, so let's get to learning. I like that. I did want to touch on that because I do think it's important. So with all that being said, he's way ahead of pace. He's looking eye-opening. All that's good and all, but here is the funniest part about all this, to me at least. Also, it has been reported that CJ Stroud has seized, quote unquote, seized the first team reps away from Davis Mills. In other terms, he has taken them away. As you can see right here, CJ Stroud moves up the depth chart. Despite starting off with the second team when the offseason program opened, the former Ohio State star has, quote unquote, seized the offense's first team snaps, according to the Houston Chronicle. Maybe some of y'all don't find this as funny as me, but the reason I find it so funny is because 2 weeks ago, matter of fact, let me pull up the date when it happened. Okay, May 23rd, 2023. What was that? 12 days ago, quote unquote, Davis Mills said, I'm competing for that starting job. Since I've been drafted in the NFL, I've been in a competition. I don't think anything is going to change. Ah, man, oh man, would you look how the tables turn. We already talked about that, and what did I tell you guys? Yeah, this competition, or this quote-unquote competition, it's not going to last long. I said that, and I believe that because there is no competition. The only competition is in Davis Mills' mind. But the funniest part to me about this is it only took 12-something days for CJ Stroud to shut down this competition. I don't care what anybody says, that has got to be the most humbling thing ever that has ever happened to Davis Mills. CJ Stroud just walked in there and said, all right, man, I'm the captain now. This is my team. It didn't take a couple of months. It didn't take a year. It took CJ Stroud 12 freaking days to make Davis Mills look like an idiot. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let me show you this video clip. This is from the practice. Maybe some of y'all care, maybe some of you don't. Matt wrote a clip. Wait a minute. I can't even find the video clip. It got deleted from where I was using. It doesn't matter. It was just a 4-second video clip of CJ Stroud passing in practice. It's no big deal. When I say it's no big deal, it's really not a big deal at all. I don't even know why I was going to show it in this video. But anyways, locking back in, getting back on track here. CJ Stroud, he's looking great. I wish I could sit up here and say I'm shocked about this, but I'm not. I've known he was a great quarterback for the past 2 years. Oh yeah, almost forgot to bring this up. On one of CJ Stroud's in the 7-on-7s, he went 3 for 4 and had a pass over 30 yards. At this point in time, I think it's more than fair to say that CJ Stroud, he's got the edge on Davis Mills, and it's looking like he's going to be your week 1 starter. I'm very curious though. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Davis Mills, he still has a chance to be the starting quarterback? What do you think? And also me going back to him stating this is a quarterback competition and he's going to compete. I understand that from a competitor standpoint. I'm not saying whenever the Houston Texans drafted CJ Stroud, he should have packed up his bags and said, yep, my football career's over. No, I'm not saying that. The part of it that I didn't like, and it rubbed me the wrong way, is Davis Mills stating that he's going to compete for that starting job, and it is a competition, when in reality, it's not. I like to compete as much as anybody else, but even I come to terms with reality. It just sounds stupid when you say, oh yeah, there will be a quarterback competition when your team drafted a guy with the 2nd overall pick. Sorry, buddy, doesn't work that way. If your team drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round, yeah, you could say there's going to be a quarterback competition. But the 2nd overall pick? Come on, man. And to go on top of that, does anybody actually believe Davis Mills is better currently than CJ Stroud? I don't. If I had to pick who I want to start tomorrow, CJ Stroud or Davis Mills, I'm taking CJ Stroud. I think it's simple. Maybe some of y'all feel differently, but Davis Mills, it's not like he was setting records last year. He was mediocre at best. I think the Texans, they got a good one. If I'm a Texans fan, I'd be pretty happy. Let me know your thoughts down below. But roll with Billy.